this is Zach with Pursue the Passion. One of the most challenging aspects of choosing a career is simply determining where our interests lie. Now, one common characteristic we saw in the majority of people we interviewed was a powerful connection with a childhood interest.
For me, part of the reason why I work here is when I was 5 years old, growing up in Boston, I went to the New England Aquarium. And I picked up a horseshoe crab, and I touched a horseshoe crab. And I still remember that, and I'm still, I love, those types of engaging experiences that really register with you and stick with you.
As a child, my grandfather was a forester, and my childhood playground was 3,600 acres of trees and wildlife that he had introduced there. So my entire childhood was around wildlife and in wild places. It just clicked.
When I was a kid, all the cousins would use my grandparents' driveway and garage as a stage, and use the garage door as a curtain, and we would put on shows for all the family every weekend. And I got to kind of be the director and help put the show together and then see the results. And I think really there's as much of that driving what I do today as there is my love of sports.
My parents got divorced when I was 13, and they forced me to go to a therapist, and for about a month I was totally against it. And now all of a sudden I was like, wait a minute, like this person's totally objective, and they're just listening. And I was like, you can actually do this for a living, and I was like, that's where it all started.
I started drawing shoes like in the 7th grade on like little 3x5 index cards. And my teacher, her name is Mrs. Weathers, she used to keep them. And I used to actually get in trouble because I was drawing instead of like paying attention, but I've been drawing ever since I can remember. So I just had a gift to be able to draw anything I could see.
That's where you always start. What do you like to do? And we had woods behind our house, and I'd spend a lot of time out there. And I said, well, the only thing I know for sure is I like to be outside. And she thought a minute, and she was like, well, we all like to do that. You'll just have to get over it. And so I decided to go into information systems, which ended up being accounting. And so I sat in an office for years trying to figure out how to get outside. And then eventually I just decided I needed to be outside, because what your passion is when you're 15 is more than likely going to be your passion when you're 30.
I envisioned myself having this job to being a tattoo artist when I was a teenager, when I first started doing it. When I was 13 and hand-poked the very first dot on my wrist and wiped it away and saw that there was a dot, I knew that's what I wanted to do.
If you can really think back honestly about what experiences kind of led you to where you are, there's big influences almost always, I think, in your childhood or early, teen years that really you found something that you were either drawn to or incredibly interested in or got great joy from. And if you're able to be lucky enough to parlay that into your career, you're almost inevitably going to be successful.